This is the new CEO of the shoe brand Nisolo, and what she just said angered everyone. So why is everyone so upset? Hey everyone, I'm Dave with Beast Made Reviews, of course a channel dedicated to reviewing quality products that give your life value. Now Nisolo is a shoe brand making ethically sourced, high quality leather shoes in Peru. And they're making them at a very good price, a very fair price for what you get. And then everything else that's bundled along with that, with the ethically made shoes that are paying people a fair wage in a different country, that's just kind of icing on the cake for the shoe brand. Or it was. You see, back in the summer of 2023, Nisolo launched this new program they call the 5 for 5 program. Essentially, you pay $500 and you get 10 pairs of shoes. And considering what you would get for $50 for a pair of shoe, that was a very attractive deal. Now, they would deliver these shoes to you over certain increments of time over a 5-year period. So at the end of your 5 years, you'll have all 10 pairs of shoes at a really good value. But that's not what they did. Now, I cobbled together some of the details here, but here's what we know so far. It seems that no one got their deal. No one got all 10 pairs, it seems like. A lot of people said they got 1 or 2, and a lot more said they got 0. Now, at the time that Nisolo made this announcement for this program, I was actually really intrigued. Nisolo was a brand that I had already followed. They were an established brand. They had a ton of products. For someone like me, that was very attractive, and I almost pulled the trigger. I almost got some. I was very close to considering getting on this deal so I can get my wife some shoes. The only reason we didn't pull the trigger at the time was because it was for 10 pairs of shoes and we couldn't find 10 styles that my wife would like or even wear. And since I didn't need to buy any more shoes for myself, just go watch any of my other videos, I didn't want to just buy the shoes just to buy them. But Nisolo was an excellent brand. I truly believed in Nisolo. So at the time, I even made a video announcing that they had this program, and I thought it was a great deal. And for someone like me who really likes to advertise value and quality together, this just seemed like the perfect combination. Now, it was a lot of money. $500 was a lot of money. And it was over a 5-year timeline, which that is a long time. But in my mind, I was thinking, this is a good brand with a great reputation. They were already established. They had tons of inventory and products. They had a great line. There's no reason that I should doubt them. Boy, was I wrong. So then I started to get rumblings of stuff going on at Nisolo. I would get messages randomly from a friend of mine who is also a YouTuber and influencer kind of in my space as well. He would tell me randomly about things going on at Nisolo, and I would ask, why are you telling me this? What's going on? And then I wouldn't hear anything back. And then months later, I would hear another message from him saying something similar. I didn't know what was going on at the time. And it felt a lot like hearing information I didn't need to know from a spy or something like that. Beware Nisolo. Then in January 2025, Nisolo foreclosed. They didn't finish their 5 for 5 deal. They had no plans to finish. And they left many, many people with nothing to show for it. And many others with only partly fulfilled orders on their 5 for 5 program. They took the money and they ran. Later, a new CEO stepped in. This one, the one we talked about before, her name is Taryn Jones-Laban. In her own words, she says she is a
fashion and retail veteran who has spent the past 20 years ethically running businesses, including Kate Spade, Casper, and SoulCycle.
And she made a little statement that didn't go over very well, to say the least. She made it on social media. It's not on their website. It's not on YouTube. It's on just a little corner of social media somewhere. Essentially, the video was an apology, apologizing for what happened with the 5 for 5 program.
The 5 for 5 program ended when prior ownership went into foreclosure. We did not create the program, nor did we sell it, nor did we ever own it.
But don't worry, it's not her fault. It's actually the previous owner's fault. They started the 5 for 5 program, not her new version of Nisolo, so she doesn't need to do anything about it.
When the business went into distress, I felt compelled to act.
And act she did. But you know, as an act of goodwill, Nisolo wants to thank everyone who was part of the 5 for 5 program.
But we've made a point of being transparent and have proactively reached out to all participants with a lifetime offer.
So everyone who is in there can now get a 25% off coupon. She actually said that. Needless to say, people are pissed. People are rightfully upset that they lost their money. Most people lost all of their money. But to add insult to injury, Nisolo prides itself on its ethical business model.
We are committed to paying fair living wages.
They pay fair wages. They take care of people. They take care of the environment. Then came all the allegations of them not taking care of people, not paying people their fair wage. People in Peru at the factory where they make the Nisolo products apparently not being paid for months of work. They're even a certified B Corp company. And now all they can offer are excuses and passing the blame on to the previous administration. Not very ethical in my book. And also not delivering to their customers what Nisolo as a brand promised to deliver to their customers. Also, in my opinion, not very ethical. Listen, I understand business is hard and you have to make a lot of hard decisions. Sometimes they're not easy. Sometimes they're costly. But this should have been a no-brainer. You honor your word, even if it hurts. Even if it takes longer to fulfill the orders, you fulfill every single order that you took as a brand. That is what an ethical behavior should look like. That is what a moral company should act like. You give the customer what they paid for and you honor your word. If they would have done that, they would have acquired a whole new wave of loyal customers. And they would have made those 5 for 5 backers customers for their entire life. Instead, they give a useless coupon that no one is going to use. No one is going to come back to a company who breaks their promise and doesn't deliver on what they said they were going to do for their customer. No one is going to spend another penny at a company like that. Even with the foreclosure of the brand, this could have been the redemption arc of the decade, of a lifetime. This could have been written in the history books. But now instead, with this new announcement, it's become Nisolo's death rattle. And now, if I could predict anything, Nisolo is doomed to die again. I hate to see what Nisolo has become. They were a great brand with great shoes, but I will never review a single product from them if they do not deliver on their promise. So stay tuned for another video on brands that I think are better than Nisolo.